Hiya, it's Fairy, and welcome to the first video in a series I'm trying out called Let's World Build. In this video, I want to share some of the things I've been working on for the past 6 months or so, but please keep in mind that I am nowhere near good at any of this yet, and I'm probably not the example you should follow. I'll leave some amazing creators in the description right off the bat, of people who will help you out with concrete information so much better than I can. That being said though, I'm hoping to share at least a little knowledge, even if it's just a slight bit of it. So, how do you start a thing as a world? Well, I'm a writer, and through writing, I've created many settings for different short stories before, but this one is a bit different. I hope to show you why a bit later here, but as all of my settings, this world too started with a little spark of an idea. I wanted to make a setting for a horror short I was trying out for the first time ever. It started really small, with a house here, a creepy well there, some old magic tossed in here, and voila, you have every horror short in existence. Nice going, Shakespeare. The world was pretty bland because at that moment it wasn't really important to me. But I fell more in love with the world the more I expanded on it step by step. And a dozen videos, some sleepless nights of research, and a couple months later, the world had transformed so much already you'd fail to recognize it if it slapped you in the face. So I figured, since these kinds of videos are my favorite to watch anyway, I could try and share my process with the people who might want to create a world but not know how or where to start. And we can go through it together. Right, enough talking, let's go. This is Earth, and this little circle around it will be my world. I don't have an official name for it yet, but so far I've been referring to it as the layer of Hydra. Since Hydra is somewhat of a magical dimension smushed on top of our own, it has the simple same laws of physics as our own does, and is pretty Earth-like in most ways. I'm not going for something crazy here, but if you are, there are some amazing videos for you out there. If you were to put Hydra on a flat map, it looks something like this. As you can see, there's a couple of distinct continents, each with their own name. They are called Ithonea, Etea, Wailon, Yaniath, and Ianeth, meaning lone, bright, low, west, and little west accordingly. This is all using my naming language, but that beast will definitely require a video of its own and can honestly still use a bit of work. The continent my initial story was set in was Etea, and that's the only continent I've explored so far. The two main things about the short story that have shaped this idea and are still deeply rooted here are 1. Dragons, and 2. Magical transportation between dimensions. The magic system is something that I still have to explore a bit more, but for now it'll suffice to know that it's not easily accessible, and very few have the power to use magic. One of the things I first did when I actually started making my world was make a map and put down the climates after that. Artifexian has an amazing couple of videos on this topic that you should 100% check out if you haven't already. Here's a simple overview of the climates in this world. Hi, Editing Fairy here from the future. I just realized that I didn't even explain anything about the climates I'm showing, so I'll give a little rundown of each climate I've put on here. Keep in mind that these climates are all those existing in our own world, so you might have to go about it a little different if your planet is an alien one with a different atmosphere than our own. Around the equator, you have the tropical rainforest. You'll have lots of rain all throughout the year in warm, humid summers and winters. At the edges, you can find a tropical monsoon climate. Here you have warm and wet summers and winters again, but rainfall will most likely come in a wet season and then make way for a dry season. After that, you have the tropical savanna. That means a warm climate with a dry winter and a short wet summer. Next is the hot steppe and the hot desert. These two aren't that different. The hot steppe is the lead up to the hot desert. Both are dry and have hot to very hot summers and winters. The cold steppe and cold desert are not actually cold. They are just a lot more temperate compared to their hot counterparts. Around the oceans, near warm Gulf streams, you'll find the Mediterranean climate. Think Italy or Spain. These areas are often great for starting civilizations since they lend themselves well to agriculture. We also have the humid continental and humid subtropical regions. Humid continental has warm, humid summers and cold winters, with a large temporal difference between them. Humid subtropical have hot, humid summers and mild winters, much like the majority of China. Oceanic climates are near the seas again, often neighboring the cold Gulf streams. These climates have cool summers and cool to cold winters, with rain in summer and rain and snow in winter, like Ireland. Really close to the sea, you can have what people call an oceanic rainforest, but it doesn't really count as its own climate. It's a dense forest much like a rainforest, but it's nowhere near as hot. Last but not least, you have the subarctic continental and the polar tundra. The subarctic continental has a very long, cold winter with low humidity, and the polar tundra has cool summers and very cold winters. It's treeless for the most part and often has glaciers or layers of permanent ice. So again, this is how I placed mine. As you can tell, the climates don't go in a straight line across the continents, and that's because mountain ranges and oceanic streams will influence the place where your climates will fall. Again, I've linked some great videos in the description to help you out further. You definitely don't have to do all of this, but I want my world to be as scientifically plausible as I can get it in most aspects of my world building. If you want your planet completely out of water or one big desert, definitely do so. You might just have to find some other reason as to why your planet is like that. For the next couple of videos, we'll focus on this little part of the world, since I found working on a closer scale a lot less overwhelming. But just because I'm going about it this way doesn't mean that you have to, of course. Do whatever floats your boat. There's a couple main islands here. The most important one is called Mireno, followed close by the more recent Elefil. On these islands live various humanoid species. One of them I've already mentioned, the dragons. But Fairy, I'm pretty sure dragons are not humanoid. Well, yes, but in this world they can be, and so are counted as one. This is one of the remnants of old magic, giving dangerous dragons the ability to transform between both shapes at will. Surviving as a huge, monstrous beast generally is a lot more energy consuming than its humanoid equivalent, so it's not uncommon to see dragons in their humanoid form for most of the day. Another of the species is called the warriors. One warrior will have a bond with one dragon alone. They can be seen as human plus plus, with better physique and appearance, and also intellectually and maybe endurance-wise. The warrior is that one ridiculously talented kid in your 3rd grade class that seems out to get you and only you. A third is the humans, and while they make up most of the population on Itea, they are only found on these 2 islands for right now. A 4th species is known as the hunters who, true to the name, hunt dragons. This species is very recent to the world and is an almost parasitic life form here. In the next video, I would really love to delve deeper into these 4 ancient species, because there's still a load to work out between each one. I'll leave this little video here. My goal with this series isn't just to explain what I've worked on. I doubt that'd be very fun after a couple goes. I really want it to be something where you can suggest ideas and give hints and tips as I go. And I also really want to get anyone who sees this excited to world build more, to explore your world along with me. So if you'd like, please do share ideas or info in the comments. I'm always willing to read up on things more. I hope to talk a little about the flora and fauna in the next video, and I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Thanks so much for watching, and till the next one.